Talking about kegs and eggs, fertility and oocytes. Talking candid while having a drink or two. You'll hear real talk from a real genetic counselor who's miscarried multiple times before. It's time for Katie Lee CGC.
Hi everyone, it's me, Katie Lee CGC, and welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be a pregnancy update, and I'm almost 35 weeks. I'll be 35 weeks tomorrow. So I'm going to talk about all things that have been happening in the past 5 weeks since my 30-week update. Where to start? I think this is where pregnancy really kicks in. Once I hit that 31 week mark, I stopped feeling so mobile. So I just listened to my last, my 30-week update, and I was like, wow, a lot has changed since that time. For example, my son has T-ball and his games and practices. So twice a week he has T-ball, and in Denver, it's 90, 95 degrees and sunny most days here in the summer, and I literally can't be outside. I told my OB at my last appointment, I was like, I feel like I will pass out. I definitely could faint. We met our dog trainer out at the park, and I felt like I was going to faint there too and had to head home. So you feel hot, and my OB said that's normal. She's like, yeah, you have a little personal space heater on you. But I felt so hot that I also feel stuck inside because it is so warm, and it doesn't really cool off that much at night most nights here in July. So it's hot at night, it's hot in the morning when we wake up. I'm hot all day in my house. What else am I? I am so thankful. I love feeling baby French fry move and knowing that she's alive in my belly, and just it's so reassuring to see my stomach growing and to just feel her move all the time. I feel really thankful. I like my body as a pregnant person. As someone who's naturally pretty slim, it's nice to have a little bit more curve on my body and to watch it grow and change. So that's been fun. And I guess that leads me to my photo shoot I told you guys about. I did my nude photo shoot. It was so fun. Again, I'm gonna link the photographer if you happen to be in the Denver metro area and you're in need of any sort of nude photos. I mean, artistic nudes. Check out Denny. He was really great. So if you haven't seen my last video, you wouldn't know, but I signed up months ago to do a artistic nude photo shoot. And you can go check out my 30-week pregnancy update. I show some examples of the artwork, the photography that this photographer does. Pretty much what I wanted was silhouettes of my body. And for me, I did little photo shoots when I was pregnant with Sunny, but I just really wanted to capture, like I said, I think my body's pretty and I wanted to capture the moment. I'm so thankful to be here, at this size with a healthy, presumably healthy baby in my belly, that I just wanted to capture it. I don't know if I'll ever have a pregnancy again because it was a struggle to get to this point. So I just want to remember how my body looks, and it's just not the same with clothes on. You can't, I don't know, I just don't feel like you get the full impression of what your body really looks like even with a tighter dress on. So I had been really wanting to do these silhouette-y nudes. Again, go look at that 30-week video if you want to see what they're like. So I found this photographer who's perfect, scheduled him. He was booking months out in advance, and it was finally time for that photo shoot. I wanted it to be around 34 weeks. So my belly was pretty big, but I was also still feeling mobile. When I got to his studio, I had my hair and makeup done. He had a big online gallery of photos that he had shared with me of both maternity and non-maternity photos, and I had marked ones that I liked. And he went through those and went through some of the poses and the different backdrops we were gonna do. We did some on a white backdrop, some on a black, all of the different lighting he was gonna use. We did some on a rooftop, and he was very, he talked about, I asked him about how he got into this type of photography, and he shared his story. It was really normal. He asked me about why I was doing the photos, and I shared a little bit of my story leading up to this pregnancy. So it was very a normal conversation. He's a normal, I don't know, 60-something guy with braces. It just wasn't weird. I mean, probably the weirdest part is when the hair and makeup artist left and he's like, okay, so you can get undressed right here or you can go in this dressing room if you want. It's just whatever you're comfortable with. And then at first, like between different poses where he was changing the lighting or backdrop around. But I mean, he never touched me. He was always like 5 feet away from me, and he was actually demonstrating the poses. Like he's like, I want your hand like this, or, you know, stick out your elbow, your left elbow a little bit further, or push your hands further back into your hair. So he, even though he had to like reposition lights to get certain looks and was taking photos, it just wasn't, I did not feel unsafe or uncomfortable by any means. Of course, you could bring somebody with you if you did feel like you might be, but obviously artistic nude photographs, not for everyone. I really wanted them. I'm definitely comfortable with my body. And like I said, I think it's pretty. I wanted to document it. So it was fun. It was actually really, really fun. What else is going on? My skin. My skin is great. I love during pregnancy that my adult acne just completely disappears. It's amazing. Like I'm somebody who, since I was like 13 years old, I have not lived a day of life besides during my pregnancies without like a random pimple like along my chin line or on my like back or neck. And it's amazing. During pregnancy, I get no pimples and like that glowing skin thing. It really is true. Like even without makeup, I feel pretty, my skin feels really even and nice and not acne. Besides that, everything has just been run of the mill. I'm just hot. I feel housebound. Our second car broke and the turbo assembly that's needed to fix it is on back order because of all of the like supply chain issues because of COVID supposedly. So we are down to one car, which means I really am housebound since my husband takes that one to work since I work from home. Other exciting news at Seattle Sperm Bank, we hired one of my old friends and a genetic counselor to fill in for my maternity leave. So I'm getting ready to train her up and hand off the baton, which feels really good. I'm glad they'll have a good, like an excellent replacement while I'm gone, and hopefully she can stay on. That covers the good stuff. The downers are, even though my appointments have been going normal, I do feel like we haven't looked at the baby since the 20-week ultrasound because nothing's wrong. There's no reason to do additional ultrasounds. And I feel panicky always. I think all genetic counselors or most genetic counselors do that. There could be something wrong that just wasn't visualized at that 20-week ultrasound, but we're gonna hope for the best. I am just so nervous about a stillbirth. Like a stillbirth is when your baby passes in utero and you're past 20 weeks of pregnancy. And I think I had this excellent period where I was like feeling excited and good. I think kind of from like 20-ish weeks after the normal anatomy scan till maybe like 30 something. And then I started feeling like, oh God, what if I have a stillbirth? And why do I feel like that? I don't know. Just, I think again, the losses, and they're not that uncommon, unfortunately. Like it's very sad, but stillbirths are like 1 in 160 pregnancies. And most of the time you don't get an explanation for why they happen. So I've just been feeling nervous about that and trying to explain it to my husband. Why am I nervous about it? No specific reason, just what could go wrong next. Like that is the attitude that I have about pregnancy, even though that's not usually my outlook on life. It's just kind of where I am with pregnancy. So I've been like just really feeling a lot more nervous. I never did kick counts with my sonny or like made sure he was moving. Luckily, this little French fry likes to move a lot. So I get the reassurance and I just am nervous about it. So we're back to being nervous again, like at the beginning of pregnancy. We have also been preparing Sunny for the arrival of his sister. So just talking about it more, talking more about her names, talking about all the things that he can be a big brother and help with, and how things are gonna look a little bit different for a while. So that's pretty much what's going on over here. Let me insert a clip of how my stomach looks now. And I don't know how many more of these videos I'll be making because we are getting towards the end. So maybe 1 or 2 more to come. All right, bye guys.